So season 2 of The Mandalorian has now just finished, and I can safely say what my first thoughts are on the season as a whole. And it's not good. Now, this is the massive hot take I've displayed on this entire channel, but it's with confidence, because I fully think that this show's writing is not good at all. I would also like to say that I enjoyed the first season of The Mandalorian, but then I noticed the massive writing flaws within the first season, and then I called it bad. I'm currently writing a series of Mandalorian reviews that go in-depth into the show's writing, but that won't be out until next year, so keep an eye out. Now, let's start off with the massive flaw in the room. The member berries. Oh yeah, also spoilers, because apparently dumbasses need to be reminded these days. This new season decided to throw in new characters from various pieces of Star Wars media. Actually, no, I shouldn't say new, rather old, because these guys are pretty much old characters. And the first episode reveals Cobb Vanth, some guy from frickin' book you gotta read. I don't know, you wanna read that book? Nah, you don't wanna read that book. No one wants to read that book. This guy's got Boba Fett's armor, signaling that maybe Boba survived. And then at the end, he's alive. This is not much of a problem compared to the other glaring flaws in the episode. Like, why do they need the entire town to kill the Crate Dragon when they can just get the Crate Dragon to eat a bantha with lots of explosives attached to it? You don't need any of this.
Not so simple. The ship passes above it, senses the vibration, stays underground.
Wait, what? How the hell does that work? These things only get worse with episode 3 when Bo-Katan, or Katan, whatever the fuck you want to say, I don't know, and the other Mandalorians show up, because apparently Mando needs a Mandalorian to find a Jedi, I guess? I mean, what if he didn't find a Mandalorian that didn't know where a Jedi was? Then you'd be pretty much doomed at that point. Again, it's convenient he meets a Mandalorian that just so happens to have fought with a Jedi. If the leader from season 1 told Mando to go find Bo-Katan because she knew where the Jedi were, that would probably explain this little convenience, but I don't know. It's Favreau, he's phoning it in recently. Plus, Bo-Katan is meant to be older than Boba, and yet Boba looks older than her? Man, Tatooine must age up people really fast. Then Ahsoka shows up in episode 5, which is pretty much the best episode in the show compared to every other episode in this frickin' show. Although this isn't the worst of the member berries. That has to go to Boba Fett in episode 6. Boba's fight scene in episode 6 is the equivalent to a child playing with their Star Wars toys. Oh god, stormtroopers come toward Boba, but he shoots them with his knee rockets. Actually, now that I think about it, I wouldn't be surprised if Favreau's ideas for writing the show was just him playing with his Star Wars toys. That would explain a lot. And also CGI Luke shows up in the last episode to find and get Grogu in a Deus Ex Machina and saves the day from the Dark Troopers. Gee, ain't that convenient. Also, people will counter-argue with this saying, oh, it's not a Deus Ex Machina, because he might have tracked him through the Force. Is that even a thing people can do with the Force, track other Force members? I mean, like, Disney have fricked up the Force so many times, I'm not really surprised what other ability there is now.
You could talk, oh my god, what's wrong with your face?
Can these things be enjoyed? Yeah, people can enjoy stuff like this. But it gets annoying every damn time when the show does it multiple times. And plus, this is what's getting the viewers. Just have a character do cool things and the viewers will just go, oh my god, it's that character I like. This show is epic. Seriously, how is no one pointing this shit out, really? How is no one pointing this out? Another problem with the show is how Mando's incompetence is just on full display this season. In episode 6, he drops his jetpack and weapons as Boba does it as well so they can calm things down. But then when the Empire show up, he goes back to get Grogu, but then he just leaves the damn thing there.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
If Mando didn't leave the jetpack, he might have actually saved Grogu from the Dark Troopers. But before that, in episode 2, he gets attacked by spiders, and he just stands there watching when they start waking up. Run, you idiot. What are you doing? Why aren't you moving? Also, the Beskar armor he's wearing is just literal plot armor, and this season shows it a lot more. He gets shot so many times in this show, and he's just fine. He's just fine. Like, all the stormtroopers Just aim at the armored parts. Why? There's so many weak points on the damn thing. Just shoot those. He gets shot 24 times in episode 3 in the hallway scene. Seriously, who thought this was a good idea? They should have added a concept with the armor where every time it takes damage, it gets weaker every episode. You know, kind of like Iron Man's armor. But then again, Favreau's still phoning it in, so you wouldn't be able to do it. This season shows no change in its formula from season 1. The side quests get even worse. The first episode, in a nutshell, is just, oh hey, you wanna know where you can find some Mandalorians? Well, you gotta help us with our crate dragon problem. Oh, you wanna know about other Mandos? Well, you gotta get this frog lady's eggs all the way to this other planet without using hyperdrive. Okay, while I'm on this topic, how the hell would the eggs just cease to exist if you enter hyperspace? When it's established in universe, you can move and walk around in hyperspace. Oh, you want to find a Jedi to train your child? Well, you gotta help us raid this Imperial craft carrying weapons. And hopefully get the black edgy lightsaber. Yes, I know it has a name, but it's legit just a black edgy lightsaber. That is all it is. We have to find the Jedi. Oh, but our ship is busted. Time to go back to Navarro and get it repaired and get some little teasers about what the Empire are planning to do with the baby. We found the Jedi, and now we have to help her liberate this town that's in utter shit. Jesus Christ, a lot of these places look like utter shit in this show. That's how the episodes usually go. Now, you could argue episode 3 isn't a side quest because he gets info about the Jedi whereabouts, but he has to get this information by doing a side quest. The show still detracts, so he can do this side quest with Bo-Katan. Just so we clear things up, there are positives when it comes to this show. Ludwig Göransson's score for this season is as top-notch as ever, and hell, it really made me think about if this was in a good piece of Star Wars media. The cinematography is pretty good and has some improvements over season 1, but that's not enough when the writing is just so noticeably bad. Also, in episode 7, there are elements of characterization for Bill Burr's character, and this is an element of writing that I want for nearly most of the characters in the show.
How about a toast to Operation Cinder?
Now there's a man who knows his history.
No, I don't just know it. I lived it. I was in Burning Con.
Burning Con?
Yeah.
That was a hard day. I had to make many unpleasant decisions.
Yes, you did.
See, boys, everybody thinks they want freedom. But what they really want is order. And when they realize that, they're gonna welcome us back with open arms. To the Empire.
We are 2 seasons into the show. I don't know much about Mando. I don't know anything about bloody Cara Dune. There's nothing of substance for Grief Karga, and there's just nothing. Oh yeah, a thing I wanted to point out is the IMDb ratings for these episodes. And they're so bloody abysmal. I mean, just look at this. Episode 1 has a score of 9.0, episode 6 has a 9.6, and the finale has 9.9? Are you guys okay? Were you hit on the head when giving those scores? And of course, the reasons these episodes have that higher rating, for example, episode 6 has that rating because Boba Fett shows up in the worst directed episode of that season. Seriously, it looks like a bloody fan film.
Do you remember Boba Fett?
Gotta give it up for Boba Fett.
I do remember Boba Fett.
Give it up for the man in the Mandalorian armor, ladies and gentlemen.
Boba Fett.
Remember Boba Fett?
Boba Fett.
He's coming back! He got out of the Sarlacc pit monster!
Not to mention, episode 8 of this season, legit only has a 9.9, probably because only Luke shows up in the episode. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the reasoning. So overall, the season has not been good in the slightest. There have been diamonds in the rough, but not enough. The writing has been so formulaic, and I'm not surprised, because they started filming Season 2 a week after Chapter 1 of Season 1 aired on Disney+. Why? What? Didn't you guys want reactions before you started blimming making more? The finale would have fit better if it was the ending for a Season 5, but they just rushed it. When you think about it, Mando and Baby Yoda were technically the things that made the show. Because if there's no more Baby Yoda, why would the common audience stay to watch? While I'm on the topic of the audience, it seems like this is the audience that Star Wars will have for a while. People reacting and saying, oh my god, it's a character that I like doing cool things in a show. This show is epic. As long as that happens, they'll just eat it up and say it's good Star Wars content, and they'll always say it's better than the sequels. Yes, I know Mandalorian is better than the sequels, but it's like comparing glossy shit to freaking shit on fire. Of course the glossy shit is gonna look better, cause it's not on fire. And with Disney just not stopping with these Disney Plus shows, it seems like this is gonna happen for a while. So I'm gonna have to give this season a 4.5 out of 10. Come on, Favreau, you can do better than this. So, yeah, that's all I've got. So, Merry Christmas, and, do you remember Star Wars? Remember this? Remember that? Remember Luke Skywalker? Remember Boba Fett? Luke Skywalker? Is this Star Wars? Remember Boba Fett? Star Wars? Yeah, we Star Wars. Remember Luke Skywalker? Star Wars? Yeah, remember characters that you like? Is this Star Wars? Is this Star Wars yet?